A warm bed waits inside a Christchurch shelter. Outside, the temperature is near freezing. From a distance, the choice looks simple. Go inside, get warm, accept the help. But an emergency bed and a home solve different problems. One can protect a person through a cold night. The other offers privacy, control, safety, and a place where tomorrow can begin. That difference helps explain a difficult moment in Christchurch. During a polar cold snap in August 2026, the city mission said some people sleeping rough had refused offers of emergency accommodation. Outreach workers could offer help, but could not force adults to accept it. The refusal can sound unreasonable if we imagine only the temperature. It looks different when we imagine the whole offer. Will the accommodation be shared? Can a person bring a partner, possessions, or an animal? Will they feel safe around strangers? Do they trust the service? Have they been harmed, controlled, or disappointed in similar places before? Those questions do not describe every person. They show why the word bed is not the same as the word safe. New Zealand's response to homelessness contains several different systems. Emergency accommodation is for the immediate crisis. Transitional housing gives a temporary place with support, while a household looks for somewhere longer term. Public housing and community housing can provide a stable tenancy. Outreach services try to build a bridge between people on the street and all those options. In July 2016, the Emergency Housing Special Needs Grant was introduced. It can help pay for short-term accommodation such as a motel, hostel, or campsite when a person or family has nowhere to stay and cannot get a contracted transitional housing place. The grant is normally approved for periods of up to 7 days at a time. 7 days can be life-saving. It can also leave a person carrying the same question into the following week. Where do I go next? For people who have lived without stable housing for a long time, New Zealand also uses Housing First. The name describes its order of work. A person does not first need to become sober, finish treatment, or prove that they are ready for a home. Stable housing comes first. Support for mental health, addiction, relationships, money, and daily life continues around it. The program is aimed at people who have spent at least 12 months of the previous 3 years sleeping rough or in places not designed for living, and who have high or complex support needs. Its principles include choice, self-determination, person-centered support, harm reduction, recovery, and connection with community. In Aotearoa, it is also guided by Rangatiratanga, Wanaungatanga, and Manakitanga, self-determination, positive connection, and care that strengthens a person's dignity. These are not decorative words, they change the meaning of a refused offer. If choice matters, a no is information. It may tell an outreach worker that the place, timing, rules, or relationship is not yet right. The worker can return, listen, and keep a line of trust open. The goal is not to win one argument at the shelter door. It is to make homelessness rare, brief, and unlikely to happen again. Trust can take time because rough sleeping is not simply the absence of a roof. People may be living with trauma, poor health, addiction, family separation, debt, or years of being moved between services. A key can open a door, but it cannot repair all those breaks by itself. The scale of the problem is visible in the census. New Zealand recorded 4,122 people living without shelter in 2013. The number was 3,624 in 2018. By 2023, it had risen to 4,965. That was a rise of about 37% in 5 years. The count includes people in places such as streets, cars, and improvised shelters. It is still a picture taken at one point in time. Homelessness can be hidden. and people's situations change. There has also been movement in the other direction. By April 2026, more than 500 additional households had been placed through Housing First, while more than 280 households that had been sleeping rough had been supported into transitional housing. Outreach teams were helping about 45 households a month move towards temporary or permanent homes. Those figures show effort, not a finished job. Suitable and affordable homes remain in short supply. Mental health and addiction needs can go unmet. A service may work well and still have nowhere appropriate to place someone. That is the tension inside the warm bed story. On a freezing night, emergency shelter matters now. The cold does not wait for a perfect housing system. Food, blankets, transport, medical care, and repeated offers can keep someone alive, yet the long answer cannot be a repeating sequence of urgent nights. It has to include housing that a person can stay in, support that follows them, and enough trust for help to feel like help. For the public, there is a simple habit that protects dignity. When someone refuses a bed, do not finish the story with the word refused. Ask what was offered, what made it unsuitable, and what relationship remains after the answer. If this changed the way you hear that sentence, share it with someone who thinks homelessness is solved by an empty mattress. The bed in Christchurch was warm. The harder work was making the doorway feel safe enough to cross.